Many say that the best way to see Paris is by bicycle, and two guys that I think would back that up are Paul and Christian from Bike About Tours in Paris. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Hey man, it's good to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been in the cafe before, but it's great that you agreed to come on the radio show.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
it's great to be here.
Is that a New Zealand accent there?
It is indeed. Yeah.
Whereabouts are you from?
Grew up in Wellington.
Right.
Yeah, but been here for 16 years, so you're feeling half French.
So you probably know the Paris streets really well.
Pretty well, I can say. Yeah.
And what about you, Christian?
Well, I've been in Paris 15 years. Been running Bike About Tours with Paul for 12 years. We've covered pretty much the whole city on bikes. So
excellent.
We should know it quite well.
The two perfect guys, perhaps, to give me the 10 best streets to cycle down to really experience Paris.
Eiffel Tower with all of a G.
But more on that in a second. These two guys also run Le Peloton Cafe, which you may have visited in the third. We're in fourth arrondissement?
Fourth, yeah.
Which is where we are today. A bit of a different show here. We're in the actual cafe. So I hope you guys don't mind if I do throw in the occasional coffee shop / bike pun. I hope that wouldn't grind your gears too much.
We welcome that. Yeah.
We're looking forward to it, actually.
Well, you already missed the first one, grind your gears.
Yeah.
They'll get better. Anyway, I thought I'd put you right on the spot, and we'll just get straight into these the streets. Instead of walking down, we're talking streets that you have to cycle down. And I want to get 10 out of you from today. So let's hear the first one that you've got for me.
Christian.
First one.
Yeah. Just off the top of my head, really.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Always putting people on the spot on this show.
Yeah. I'd have to say Rue Saint-Honoré in the first arrondissement.
Is that the one that runs along with all the shopping on the Colette and stuff, like all those fancy shops?
Yeah. So, I do a lot of shopping in that area, so
right.
yeah.
It's actually not a good shop to take your girlfriend to ride it down.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend, your wife.
You just ride really quickly and you stop at the shop.
So it starts super chic, kind of down by the Champs-Élysées and Place de la Concorde, and it gets a little less chic as you get to the center of town. But the best thing is it pretty much ends Rue Saint-Honoré at the best baguette in the city.
Okay, tell us what that is.
It's La Parisienne Boulangerie, and they won last year Best Baguette because they have a big competition.
Right. Is that where if you win the competition you get to provide the bread for the president for the next year?
That's the legend, yeah.
That's the legend. We're not too sure, but we think it is.
Because that's the other thing is that if you go right down to the road, you get a chance you might see Monsieur Hollande.
Yeah.
With the Élysée being down there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He doesn't line up for his own baguette though, does he, the president?
Oh, yeah, it's not.
Okay, that was James Vazina, the producer, chiming in with the French knowledge and the best French accent of us all. Okay, so that wasn't your number one of all, or was that just one of your top 10?
Just one of the top 10, yeah.
Okay. We're going to be putting all these all on a map and maybe creating a tour out of this if you guys can make it to 10.
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, well let's put you on the spot then, Paul. What have you got for a good recommendation?
I would definitely say probably Boulevard des Invalides.
Boulevard des Invalides. Where's that?
Yeah, so that's in the I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Christian, the 7th or the 8th? The 7th, yeah,
So
7th district,
river.
yeah. To actually get to that street, it's a great ride because you can go through the Grand Palais, then you head towards Les Invalides, and then you you go to the left, you go down that street, and you pass in front of the Rodin Museum. And for those who don't know, Rodin was that great sculptor. One
of my favorites.
But of course, you've probably heard of the Thinker, and as you go past, you can actually see the guy's butt. As you go past, you just need to stand up a little bit on your pedals.
Hang on, the thinker's butt, you mean?
Exactly. No, not yours.
Wait, this is the thinker. This is the statue who's got his hand, his chin on his.
Like he's going to the toilet.
Yeah. The stinker.
The Stinker.
Yeah.
Let's rename it that. The Stinker.
Hang on. Okay, I'm going to bring this up because I was actually I wasn't cycling. I was on my some call it a motorbike today.
Okay.
Some call it a scooter.
Maybe. Yeah.
And I passed there. I didn't see any butts hanging out of any windows.
No, it's not in the window. It's in the garden.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
If you kind of peer through the hedges.
If you were looking, sorry, I should have clarified that. And basically it would be good because the hedges probably don't have much hedge on them at the moment because in the summertime they do grow up a bit. It's outside because I think he did 3 or 4 of the Thinkers. And
hang on, so it's not even the original that we're talking about. Yeah.
It is. He did like 4 at the same time, didn't he? So we don't know which one's the original. It is the original in the garden, I guess.
Right. Okay.
It's original as far as we know. So.
Yeah.
So when you're going past, you need to stand up on your pedals or anything. Yeah.
And you see his butt crack. it's quite cool because you've heard of this famous statue, and to see the backside is quite exciting.
And you do save like €8.50, you know, at the museum.
But if you pay the extra €8, you get to see the rest of the
Right,
statue.
Yeah,
That's true,
exactly.
yeah.
If you're hearing a bit of laughter in the corner, that's Nico, and an intern from Australia who's no, he's a fan of the show. He's just visiting us for a night. He told me that he listened to 5 minutes of the show and was a fan for life.
I can
Seems
see
reasonable.
that.
No, he added afterwards that he turned it off after 5 minutes. He felt he got the gist. He said, "No comment."
but going back to the butt crack, that's the great thing about riding in Paris is that you're never far away from riding through something pretty special or some sort of.
I thought you were going somewhere else there.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm just saying not that in general.
There's
but,
that as well. But,
Yeah. But you know, I remember when I did it for the first time. I was like, wow, that was amazing to see something I've been reading about, you know.
Yeah, I've seen your guys' reviews on TripAdvisor, and I don't think I've ever seen such positive to negative review ratio in a good way. I think you're the top 3 of things to do outdoor activities in Paris.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know that nobody has 2,000 friends, which is how many excellent reviews you've got.
Well, no, we just write them ourselves, basically.
Just
yeah.
refresh and write them.
Pretty much.
Did you
yeah.
write the negative reviews as well?
Go to all those cafes around Paris.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
yeah.
Before we get on to the other 8, if you guys can make it that far, tell me why bike tours? Why are you doing bike tours in Paris?
Well, we always thought, I think I can speak for me and Paul, biking is the best way to get around the city, and to start with. So many little back streets and alleyways that me coming to Paris as a student I discovered on a bike, and to be able to share all that with visitors is quite cool. And part of our tour is really to show people maybe a few streets they wouldn't naturally see, to get a real feel for the city you wouldn't see on a bus tour or on some of the more mainstream kind of tours. So that was one of the reasons that we chose bikes.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there a favorite hidden street?
Ooh,
This isn't part of the top 10. Hidden street.
hidden street.
Come on, Christian.
Well, I used to live actually down in the 13th arrondissement, right next to the Buteau Caille. I don't know if you guys have been down there.
Never go to the other side of the river.
Yeah, I know. I don't anymore either. But,
Oliver likes to make this clear.
Just for the record.
but yeah, down there's a lot of cool little hidden passageways and some of the last proper houses that exist in the city. It's really like a mini Montmartre down there, but most people never make it down to the 13th. So.
What's the area called?
The Buteau Caille.
Butokai. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a cool spot to check out.
Okay. On that note, let's get on with the top 10. We're at number 3.
After
4 if
having
you
seen
count
the
that.
butt crack,
Yeah.
number 3, when you see the butt crack, you're able to actually go see the Invalides.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
you're on
true.
the
So yeah,
second bar.
you do that. You go see that, and then you keep going down, and you're actually in front of Les Invalides, and then you go down Rue de Bretagne.
James, what's the pronunciation,
Yeah.
James? You're a Frenchman?
Rue de Breteuil.
Rue de
He's got
Bretagne.
peanuts in his mouth.
And that's a great.
It's a good way to do French pronunciation. Wait, I'm going to have it again. Rue Breteuil.
Rue Bretagne.
Rue Breteuil.
That's awesome.
South
And
of
not say
France.
like that.
No.
That was actually a lot better that time.
I figured out how to speak French finally. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was
Paul?
going to say that's a great street because you turn back and you get to see Les Invalides in its full glory, Napoleon's tomb as well, and a great place for a picnic. A little less touristy than having a picnic on the Champ de Mars.
What about what I love is going down the street with the wind going through my hair, like a big steep street. Can you recommend one of them?
I don't know. What do you reckon, Paul?
Oh, definitely Rue de Belleville. I mean, getting up there is a bit of a mission, but
And this is up in the 20th, or
yeah, I think it is at the top of the 20th. Starts on the 11th, and by the time you get to the top, it's the 20th. You turn around, you go down on your bike. It's really steep, super steep, and you've got an awesome view of the city. And basically, what I do is I just stand up a little bit on my bike. If you've got the roller brakes, or what are they called? The
foot pedal brake?
foot pedal brakes,
Yeah.
you slightly, lean back and to brake yourself. If not, you just grab the handlebars and you whiz down. You've got, shops and people on either side, and at the end you've got a KFC. So
typical French cuisine.
All that effort going up, you need something to...
yeah.
So that's the street with the rewards.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
The best is to start at the top, right? You don't want
Yeah.
to start from the bottom and then just get to the top and turn around, right?
Well, no, meaning, I guess you could have Vélib, if you get to Vélib, get to metro up, grab a Vélib, and then go down that street.
That's something I want to talk about, Vélib. What do we think about about the city's free bikes. Do we think they're kind of average or kind of unbelievable?
That's your second one.
That's it. We might have missed out on some other ones.
He was sitting on that one. He's had that one for a while. Well, the bikes themselves, Paul and I were saying the other day, if you get a Vélib that's like in mint condition, it's like the best bike ever. You know, you feel like you've got a Tour de France style bike. You know, it's
Not quite, but
well, you know what I mean. You know, it's just such a rare occurrence as well that when you get a great Vélib, it's amazing.
Yeah, right.
When you get a bad one, which is often the case, it's a bit of a struggle.
Do you ever get those ones where I've had ones every like 6 or 7 pedals? I don't know what it's called, but it, like you lose the chain kind of falls off a little bit, sort of.
Yeah.
Have you had one of these ones?
Gear skips.
Yeah. So I was on one yesterday, and I counted. It was every 6th pedal it would do that. So I did 5 pedals, and then coasted a bit, and then it was fine for another 5 pedals. So
I mean,
there's a little secret for you guys.
Yeah.
We'll add that to the
If
list.
we get that same one,
Yeah. Well, they've definitely done a better job. I think when they first started 10 years ago, you know, every second bike was pretty crap. But now I'd say in general it's a lot better.
yeah.
I mean, the company that runs it spend millions of euros a year making sure that the bikes are in good condition. That was the contract with the town hall.
And it's a 10-year contract that's about to run out
Interesting. I didn't know that.
really soon.
And to be honest, I'm thinking JC Deco probably want to pull out because it's costing them so much money.
Because everyone keeps throwing them in the canal.
Well,
Right.
there you go. When they drained the canal, how many did they
Yeah.
They
find?
found 100. They found 100 in
There
there.
you go.
Yeah.
On the flip side, though, all the tourists that see the bikes and they say, "Oh, it's a free bike," and they put their credit card in, and they bring it back the next day, and they get
Yeah, we've had a lot of people
€50.
do that all the time.
There's
Tourists, if
heaps
you're
of tourists.
listening, don't go to the Vélibs and put your credit cards in. Come down to Le Peloton Cafe, where it's a fraction of the cost. I don't know what a fraction of the cost it is. But
15 euros for the day if
Yeah.
you
So we
mention.
offering 15 euros a day?
Yeah,
That was a good segue.
And you don't have to put your bike back.
exactly.
Speaking of Segway and other unusual tours of Paris, of which Segway is one, does that work as a Segway?
No, that's a competition as well. So.
I want to talk about number 4. It's over to you, Kristen, I think, for a...
Number 4, a really great road to ride down.
sounds like you're reading. Chris.
Yeah, how did you know what the question was? He just said number 4.
Number 4, the great roads to ride down. in
Oh,
Paris,
right, okay.
Yeah, well, that's what I said at the start of the episode.
okay,
and,
gotcha.
and I'm putting you on the spot, and that's how it works.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'd have to say Rue Vieille de Temple in the Marais in the 4th arrondissement. It's a great road. You start right up the top by the Cirque d'Hiver. You start there and you work your way down. You've got a lot of the cool kind of trendy designers and little fashion kind of houses, cool cafes.
Hang on, both your streets have been a little bit fashion related.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Right,
Christian's a hidden
You know me,
fashionista. Is that what they call it?
No comment from Kristen on that.
Yeah. No, it's just a great road, and I mean the best part about it is when you get down to the bottom of the road, you end up at the Peloton. So that's the best part.
Peloton Cafe. Well, in terms of segue, let's talk about the Peloton Cafe. I'll give you guys a chance to peddle your wares a little bit here.
Yeah. Well, firstly, for those who don't know, the Peloton is means kind of group of cyclists in the Tour de France.
That's the group. That's not the leaders we're talking about. That's
Nope.
the group.
Yeah. So
Everyone but the leader.
everyone but the leaders. Yeah.
So
Not the losers. Well, you could say we're the losers, but we're not. It's basically.
Not according to TripAdvisor.
Well, there you go. Well, those
So
reviews
why
are
did
right.
you call yourself? Why did you decide to name your cafe?
Peloton. Well,
Yeah.
basically, when a peloton, they ride together in community and they help each other chase the leader. And I guess for us, it was kind of symbolic. We know that Paris is a big city, and we wanted to have a coffee shop where people could come and be in community together. It's a lot easier doing things in community and serving great coffee at the same time.
Speaking of great coffee,
Coutume.
Coutume coffee.
Yeah, we got some
Yeah.
great Coutume
I
coffee.
love to say nothing better than a Katoon bean.
I tell you what, especially that Ethiopian stuff.
The Ethiopian blend.
Boom. No, not blend. Oh, is it a blend?
Is it a
It
blend?
would be,
I don't know.
Probably would be, but
What, the filter?
anyway, yeah, it's
Anyway.
good stuff. Anyway,
They make
yeah.
a good. They make a good coffee.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
the readers out there, you...
They're not readers, they're
sorry,
listeners.
listeners. the
I assume
listeners
they
out there.
read,
Sorry.
yeah.
First 10 people to come in and say that they listened to this episode and Ollie is their favorite journalist gets a free coffee on the house.
free coffee.
Yeah, first 10
Yeah,
people.
I can come in 10 times.
You're good, you're good.
Well, that's,
You're good.
that's a very generous offer.
There you
Okay. So, do they do any code word or anything like that? Or they
Code
just-
work is they listen to the podcast
Eiffel Tower.
and the Eiffel Tower. And
Ollie is awesome, yeah.
Ollie is awesome.
You know what? I'm not going to put that on the Facebook. I'm not going to write that anywhere, so they're going to have to listen 15 minutes through to get to that.
Exactly. We'll see how many people.
All right, come on, let's get through this top 10 list. We're at number 5, I think now. We're at 5?
Champs-Elysees, definitely.
Yeah?
That's my number 5.
Champs-Elysees, yeah.
Tell me, I mean...
Can you cycle? You were asking whether we were able to cycle. down
can you
Champs-Elysees.
cycle? When was I asking that?
Legally, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned it the other day.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you?
You can definitely cycle.
You can
yeah.
cycle down it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, just if you're just tuning in, this is the 10 streets that you have to cycle down to really experience Paris. Not necessarily the best or the worst, but to get an experience of the city. Is it a good street or is this an experience one?
Well, definitely an experience.
Yeah.
Street.
A little bit of both. I mean, you have all the big shops on either side. Of course,
Oh
with
my
the,
God.
Talking about
It's
shops
always
again,
shop.
bro.
the Tour de France. Yeah. No, I mean the Tour de
We can
France.
get you back
rides
on
down.
when we do a shopping episode. No, but go on.
That's the second of my shopping tour. No, yeah, I mean it's such an iconic street. The Tour de France, rides down it. You know, when you think of cycling, you think of that street. You know,
No, that's
Beside it.
definitely true. When you think of cycling, you think of the Champs-Elysees. It's a bit of a bitch. Can I say bitch?
Nope.
Okay.
But you said butch because you want
Butch,
to
I did, yeah,
so it's
so it's
totally
fine.
fine.
It's a bit of a butch. You go down and it's cobblestone, so it's like boom, 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 and you've got limousines, taxis, a lot of Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
you
And
went
you
down-
have
Can we say scooters?
Well, I'll tell you, if you went down the Champs-Elysees today, you would have seen me on a red scooter with Nick, the intern, on the back. I did 2 laps around the Arc de Triomphe.
How was that for you, Nick?
A little scary, but I got through it.
But awesome though, experience-wise,
It was very, very cool.
up there, wasn't it?
You're gripping on very tightly.
He's-
There was
we all-
in between. There was
We all
some
tried to grip
swirls.
onto Ollie. So.
He's here to tell the tale as well.
2 laps. I was screaming the whole time. It's like the roundabout at Bastille, and the one at Concorde. They're thrilled. Probably on a bicycle as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would probably put Concorde. Say Concorde. Yeah, Concorde for the
Yeah.
thrill of it.
So that could be from Concorde up to Arc de Triomphe and back down again is a good experience for Paris.
Yeah, you have to.
Probably more fun going the other way down.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
Coming down.
actually it's a little misleading. You think the Champs-Elysees is kind of flat, but in actual fact it does go up.
It is a hill, yeah.
But that was a good street, number 5. Let's get on to 6.
Over to you, Paul. I'll let you answer that one. I'm sure you've got one already thought
He's
of.
got some
So I've got
accolades
some-
in his mouth
Yeah.
for his pronunciation.
Exactly.
He's buying time. Is it going to be the
So,
top 5 or
Top 5, absolutely. No, top 6 now.
Tell one that we actually see on the tour, though, maybe.
Well, yeah,
That'd be
that's
a good
true.
one,
The
yeah.
Cater.
Wait, do you take people on the Champs-Elysees on your
No,
tour?
it's too dangerous.
No.
I'm sure it's
they
going
don't cover if they get into it.
Does that mean that?
Well, I was going to say one day a year we do, 6:30 in the morning on the Sunday that the Tour de France arrives in Paris. We ride the route through the city, up the Champs-Elysees, around the Arc de Triomphe. But really, that's the only time of the year we do it because it's calm at that stage.
So that's before the cyclists come in. Like
Exactly.
They finish
Yeah.
the race. Before we get on to number... No.
We're still on number 6,
first.
yeah.
Let's do number 6.
Okay, so the Quai Saint-Bernard, maybe it's a little less unknown. It's down by the river. It's actually called the Open Air Museum of Modern Sculptures. There's a lot of weird and wonderful sculptures there.
For the listeners, where are we talking? Is that
So we're talking, we go over Pont d'Ost.
And for me.
You go over, so you get to the Bastille, then you go over past the canal, the start of the canal, and you go over the Pont
where the
Austerlitz
Canal Saint-Martin hits the...
river.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you go over the pont, and then you ride directly down straight away.
It's
by
on the
river.
left bank there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You've got the whole quay to yourselves, and you go through, and it's in the summertime. You got people dancing, and there's enclaves on the side there, tango, rock and roll, salsa.
That's cool.
Great place to picnic.
When
And
it's
then-
not flooded.
when it's not flooded,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
That
ride
was
through a
one of
lot
my
of water.
favourite news stories of the past couple of years in Paris when the Seine flooded. What a story.
Yeah, we had to kind of adapt half our route on the bike tour though.
Really?
Yeah, there was so
you
much
get a lot
water
of it down
everywhere.
on the banks.
Yeah, everywhere there's water. Yeah, so
I found €100 that weekend.
Oh, you did?
Washed up. So it wasn't all bad news.
Did you seek refuge in Montmartre when your tour's taking you high up?
They were at the top of the Rue de Belleville, just chilling out. Right at the
Yeah.
top of the-
did we go to Montmartre?
Yeah, do you sometimes cycle up to Montmartre?
We haven't actually. We've actually done it on a few kind of private tours that people that really wanted to go to Montmartre. We've taken them up there. But it is true. Our current route, we do. There's kind of something to see every 2 or 3 minutes. It's quite bang bang in terms of sights and sounds and stuff. But Montmartre's a good distance, and we just noticed it's not quite as punchy the tour if you have to ride all the way up, up to Montmartre. So, yeah, we haven't done too much of that on the tours.
And to be honest, half our customers probably couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Maybe electric bikes.
Great idea.
Good option. Yeah.
That could maybe help.
Great idea.
You don't have electric bikes?
We do.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you've had the idea.
And we've had that idea for a while, actually.
James looks a bit deflated over there.
I was going to
Whoa,
say
that was a good one. Yeah.
All right, let's get on to number 7 before we talk a bit more about coffee and cycling in general. What's the 7th street to experience Paris via bicycle? Or as they say in French, vélo. Hang on, wait. Let me put the peanuts in my mouth.
something bigger than
I was expecting a whole phrase there.
Oh, I don't do phrases. This is
Right. So I'll go back to the left bank. just so Ollie's happy.
okay, let's start with
I'd say the Rue du Bac, which is on the left bank there. Kind of a chic kind of part of town. A lot of big boulevards to ride on, which is nice.
Cobblestones as well?
No, not as many cobblestones, but the Rue du Bac is a good one. Just all the cafes, the sights and sounds. Paul actually discovered quite a random thing though a few years back. On that road, which we always tell to our customers.
Well, I'm the resident Catholic in the company, so I particularly like this church that's on Rue du Bac where you can see a incorruptible nun. Now, for those who don't
Excuse me?
exactly.
What's
that? What is that? Good question. What's an incorruptible nun? Well, basically, it's a saint's body that hasn't decomposed because they're so holy. And this nun was visited by the Virgin Mary when she was 18. She died, I think, at the ripe old age of 82.
When was this? When did she die?
So it's what, mid 1800s?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
That sounds incredibly old for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And anyway, they buried her, and about 100 years later, they pulled her body up.
Oh,
As you do. Yeah.
that's kind of morbid.
A little morbid, yeah, as you do. And apparently, when they opened the coffin, there was a smell of roses. And her body hadn't decomposed. It was in exactly the same state as it was when she died 100 years earlier.
Hence the name Incorruptible Nun.
Exactly, and there's about 10 of them in the world.
And what do you mean she's still there?
So she's still there. They now display her in a glass coffin at the altar.
So you can see her.
You can see her.
That must be one of the top tourist destinations in the city.
Yeah.
Actually, second.
Is it?
Second. It is after the Eiffel Tower. It's the second most visited monument, and of course, it's a pilgrim site. So you've got all the Catholics coming.
Do they charge admission? No. You have to buy a ticket, do you?
No, no, I don't think you do.
And do you ever go outside of Paris then?
We do,
suburban
yeah.
area?
We actually run a tour of the region of Champagne on electric bikes that I know you were very excited about.
Oh, wow.
Which is great. We catch the train from Paris. We head out to Épernay, out in Champagne. We spend the day biking through the vineyards. We pop in on a few kind of family-run champagne producers. And we do one of the big champagne houses as well. It's really an amazing day to experience it. Kind of most people do it on a bus, but on bikes it's amazing.
So I want to ask, you guys must have a lot of people coming from all around the world for your tours. And I want to know, who are the best cyclists? Which nationality?
The Dutch.
The Dutch.
By far, yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, they've lived their lives on bikes, you go to Amsterdam or Rotterdam and they've got the whole family on one bike, like Paul does here with his kids as well.
How many kids you got, Paul?
3 that I know of.
3. My wife will be happy to hear that. Hopefully she's tuned out. So the Dutch are the best?
The Dutch are the best. A group of 30 Dutch you could take with one guide, and it's easy and awesome. Other cultures, 5 people is a big
Name
group.
names,
Yeah.
name names, Christian.
Well,
No, don't
it
do my
depends,
list.
Well, I guess people who are unfamiliar with the riding.
In cities,
and at home.
It gets a bit more chaotic.
Australians, in other words.
Yeah, Americans.
Yeah,
people who are used to getting around in a car.
Number 7.
Number 8.
8. I think we moved on
Just
to
testing
8.
you.
8, yeah.
Number 8.
What do you think, Paul?
Well,
Big pause.
I was thinking actually the other day I was riding up from the 19th.
Yep.
I think.
Northeast.
Was it the 19th?
Maybe not.
Yeah, the 19th.
Yeah.
And
When we got lost.
down for the listeners, there's a street you might be familiar with called the Boulevard de Magenta. And it's actually great.
Oh, that's a busy one.
It's a busy one because they've actually put, and it was one of the very first complete bike lanes from the top to the bottom to République. And you're at the top thinking this is going to be awesome. But it's probably the most chaotic bike lane you'll ever go down. But it's an experience.
And
You
it's
experience-
separated from the road, but it's still chaotic.
It's chaotic
Yeah.
because you're experiencing
Oh, the
Paris.
bike lane that's just a bit over from the... Yeah.
And basically no one cares that it's a bike lane, so you have trucks parked in it, taxis, pedestrians talking on their phone. But
So hang
no,
on, this is a street that you're recommending, or is this more for the experience of Paris?
experiencing.
Yeah.
For those more experienced riders, I would say,
Right.
head down that street.
Good one to go down as well, rather than up.
Absolutely, not up.
It's a bit of a climb, that one.
Yeah, and you get to Republic at the end, which is always nice.
Good place to skateboard.
It is. Yeah, I've seen you do a few ollies.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Magenta.
Magenta.
What are we at? That's 8 that we've done.
Yes, Ollie.
Okay, let's hear number 9, Christian.
Yeah, you've probably got another one that's good, no?
Okay, so one thing everyone,
'Cause-
all the listeners have to do is they have to ride through the Louvre in the evening.
Oh, this sounds like a good one to end
Yeah,
on.
that's
Okay, magic.
top 9, I guess, places.
Top
We
9.
can do now.
Yeah.
No. Well, you know, we've talked about.
Have we talked about?
Yeah, we did. We talked about a great place for picnics around there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, let's hear about the Louvre.
The Louvre.
That's true.
Uh,
Another
if-
part of our tour as well. We do that as well.
Right, but I've been here for
Louvre
six.
this is the museum that we're talking about.
We are the
first,
one with the
okay.
big pyramid that you can't miss.
Mona Lisa.
I think it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? No, so the evening, I've been here for 16 years and I still get a kick out of riding through the Louvre in the evening. Firstly, there's no one there. Got the whole...
Hang on. Running through the museum or running through
Sorry.
the area?
Riding through the Louvre. When I
Because
say
if
the
you know how to ride through the museum, I want to be on that tour.
that would be an awesome tour, actually.
It's like a Dan Brown. Okay, so talk about going through the Louvre.
Going through the Louvre, the outside of the Louvre, I should say. In the evening, firstly, there's no one there. It's empty. You've got the whole square and pyramid to yourselves. And it's all lit up. It's beautiful. Magic. Very peaceful.
And can you ride like right up beside the pyramid?
Yep.
Yeah,
They don't
all the way
block it off.
through, yeah.
Don't they sometimes close those doors that lead in?
They close at 10 o'clock, they do. The Cour Carré, so the original part of the Louvre at the end there, they do close at 10 o'clock, but if you get in there, the sun sets behind the pyramid at about 9:20 in the summer. So if you hit that there, you get to see the sunset behind the pyramid, and then they'll turn the lights on. It's all yours. Magical experience.
Yeah, that's a great, it's where you want to propose, really.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Great. Proposing on a bike as you ride
Yeah,
through the
that's
Louvre. I
perfect.
love
So have
it.
you guys had proposals on your tours before?
We have actually.
We have.
Yeah.
Let's hear more about that.
On the Lovers Bridge.
On the Lovers Bridge, yeah.
Before
Before
no, the one behind Notre Dame, which was the original one, actually.
Yeah.
It's that
That's the
little,
one with
little
the
bridge.
unpronounceable name. The one that's like Archibald.
Archibald, yeah.
Was it Archibald? Can we have
Archibald.
a word on that?
I-
Oh, thanks.
Where's
Some
the
Spanish peanuts over.
Where's the peanuts?
Go and give us the
Peanuts,
word.
I don't know, it's something de l'archevêque, but there's a first word to that. It's something de l'archevêque, yeah.
It was on the Lovelock Bridge. What happened with the
Yeah.
proposal?
She said no, I think.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
No.
I think
He planned it before. He emailed us to tell us he was going to do it. So the tour guide stops on the bridge. We all kind of look at him. He goes down on one knee.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
But they've since cut all the locks off that bridge for security reasons. So I reckon they're probably divorced.
Oh. All the couples that ended after those love locks
Yeah.
were cut.
I know.
We actually had on episode 4 one of the women who were behind getting rid of the anti-Lovelock brigade.
Really?
The irony of that is that it's not even the Parisians. It's all the expats.
We're against the locks?
Yeah.
Do you know someone found a lock very recently that had they maybe wrote it, but it had Barack and Michelle 2007 in the year that the presidential couple were in Paris. I don't think the presidents would have done that.
We took Michelle's brother on tour.
Oh, really?
We did.
That's true, yeah. He was actually a basketball coach.
He's a basketball
isn't he?
coach, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Any other high profile?
Yeah, any other high profiles?
We
had
bumped
done-
into a lot of high-profile people.
Hang on, bumped into? I mean that you had on the
Literally.
tour.
Wow, no.
We saw, Owen Wilson was riding a bike in front of the tour,
Yeah.
and we kind of rode next to him.
Yeah, so they got people to take pictures.
Yeah. Does that count?
That counts for
He
sure.
wasn't a paying customer.
Anyway, I think I think you guys have done a very good top 10 of Paris. Streets that you should cycle down to experience this city. You're listening to Paul and Christian from Le Peloton Cafe. They run Bike About Paris tours. You've already, if you listened 15 minutes ago, you know the code to come in and get a free coffee. But other than that, thanks very much for being on the show, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
And hopefully see you on a tour someday soon. Maybe even a tour of these 10 streets that you've given us.
Eiffel Tower with Oliver G.